Today in the Rockies franchise, we have some big games against the Houston Astros and taking on the Atlanta Braves, who of course now have Trevor's story in the series. Welcome back to the franchise, everybody, on MLB The Show 21. The action has been so much fun lately. Year 2's off to a fun start. I'm feeling better about the team knowing we still have a ways to go. Most of the action in this video is going to be from the stream I did over the weekend, so if you'd like to watch these games in full, pitch by pitch, you can do so. But one thing I wanted to do in this episode is make a move with our starting rotation. Derek Rodriguez has been pitching unbelievably well at AAA this season, and he wasn't even bad at the major league level a year ago. With us looking for a boost to the starting rotation, he is getting called up to become the new 5th starter. Ahead of this, we do beat the Houston Astros 10-8 in extra innings. Garrett Hampson, Javi Baez, and Connor Joe go yard in a high-scoring win. And I wanted to see if we could beat the Astros in this interleague series. Going on the road, we get the DH. That's different. Trying to take 2 out of 3, we have Derek Rodriguez called up taking on the Astros and Lance McCullers. He's a great pitcher, putting together a pretty solid season. But to start the day, we have Raimel Tapia continuing to swing the bat well, and he almost goes yard, but this outfield at Minute Maid is not the most convenient. So Tapia ends up at second base. That brings up Sam Hilliard, who ends up striking out on the McCullers changeup. McCullers averaging a strikeout per inning. And with Ryan McMahon flying to left center, we can't score Tapia despite the leadoff double. This is a really difficult team to all of a sudden make your first start of the year against. The Astros don't strike out a lot. They have a lot of good hitters, but Derek Rodriguez in the first inning settled in immediately, getting the line out from Michael Brantley, and Yordan Alvarez grounds out to make this a 1-2-3 first. It's a very deep lineup though. Alex Bregman batting cleanup sends this one to deep center, sending Tapia back. This time the outfield's going to do us a favor and contain it. With 2 down, here's Kyle Tucker, who has some power. And Rodriguez drops the curveball in the bottom of the zone and goes right back to the breaking ball to get strike 3. I was amazed at how quickly Rodriguez was getting these outs. Brantley grounds out to short here in the 3rd inning as Rodriguez makes it through the first 3 with under 30 pitches. Scoreless ball game, top of the 4th. Here is Javi Baez. And he turns on the McCullers cutter, deep left field, that is gone! Baez puts us on the board with home run number 10 on the season. We're getting the play we expected from him. 1-0, here's Brendan Rodgers with a runner aboard, and he is able to draw the walk. As we played this very patiently, a lot like that recent episode where we took on Zack Borenstein and he only went 4 innings. McCullers up to 74 pitches, only recording 10 outs, and now walking Adam Duvall to load the bases. And here's one of the best stories of year 2, Connor Joe. 5 quick home runs in like 10 games at AAA. He gets called up. He's hit the ball really well and almost gets an extra base hit down the line. 3-1 to Connor Joe, and a pitch right down the middle is lined into center field, and Connor Joe comes through. It's a 2-run single. We may have to make Connor Joe a true everyday starter at this rate. Lance McCullers had a lot of issues finding the strike zone consistently here in the 4th inning. Here's Raimel Tapia with 2 aboard, and he singles into right field. The Rockies don't test, instead keeping the bases loaded for Sam Hilliard. Trying to turn on one and really break this game open. Count runs full, and Hilliard grounds one just past second base into center field. 2 more come around for the Rockies as they put 5 on the board against Lance McCullers, and that is it for his day. We faced some pitchers that I thought we'd have a more difficult time against in McCullers and Greinke recently. I like how competitive this lineup has been. Meanwhile, Derek Rodriguez continuing to cruise through these innings. Alex Bregman 2-2. This one is just a lazy fly into center, no problem. 40 pitches, 4 innings, and the Rockies trying to build upon this lead. Brendan Rodgers into right field. This one loads the bases again. Now against Christian Javier. Big chance here for Adam Duvall, and he will work out a walk to bring home run number 6. Javier would get out of the inning, not allowing any more runs. So 6-0, bottom 5, and finally a drive for the Astros, almost getting out. And then having to chase it quite a ways here towards the infield as a run does come around. And then Manny Pena, the 9-hitting catcher, strikes out. And Rodriguez gets through 5, allowing just the 1. Top of the 6th inning. Javier facing Raimel Tapia. This one's ripped down the line, and that is another extra base hit. 3rd hit of the ball game already for Tapia. Ryan McMahon trying to turn his season around, looking for the RBI. And this is into right center field, but a pretty routine play. Just have not been able to get much production this year with McMahon. Rodriguez stays in for the 6th. Michael Brantley can't get the curveball on the outside. Count runs full. Rodriguez jams him into shallow center. Baez makes the play. The flyouts he was getting were really impressive to me. He constantly got them to just make weak contact, and typically fly balls with this pitching staff end up being a big problem. But Rodriguez gets through 6, still allowing just 1 run. I was so impressed with his performance. Let's go top of the 7th. A big reason we signed Adam Duvall is because of his power against lefties, but this year has not been good at all for Adam Duvall. But perhaps things are starting to turn around as this one makes a quick exit in left field. It's his 2nd home run of the season, the first I've actually hit with him. And we played a lot of spring training games and a good amount of baseball already this year. But we just haven't seen the power like we expected, but it's good to see it there. I wanted to see how far Rodriguez could go in this game. How about a nice flip over to second and Baez to first? Double play here in the 7th. 8-1 Rockies on their way to potentially winning this series. I wanted to see if he could make it through 8. Manny Pena, patient, takes the curveball, works the count full, and then Rodriguez misses. 2 base runners here for the Astros, so Derek Rodriguez's day is done, but what a start. Scott Oberg comes in, trying to get us to the end of this one. 2 on for Michael Brantley, 3-1 count. Oberg misses low and outside, bases loaded. And here's Miles Straw, 0 for 3 on the day. 0-2, lined into right field, a run comes around. This was a really good pitch too by Oberg. Sometimes you throw the perfect pitch and it just doesn't matter. Base is still loaded here for the Astros. This is where I started to really get nervous facing Yordan Alvarez, 3-0 count. Nowhere to put him. Oberg walks him on 4 pitches, and now it's a 5-run game. Alex Bregman at the plate. On the first pitch, he pops it up into foul territory. A huge pop-up, and the 2nd out. Then Jose Altuve batting 5th, looking for his first hit. And he's going to work the count full. 3-2 from Oberg. Another pop-up in foul territory. We got ourselves into a mess here in the 8th, but a great job getting out of it. We take it to the 9th, where Sir Anthony Dominguez comes in and helps preserve the victory as the Rockies take 2 out of 3 in Houston, putting up some pretty good run production in the process. I really like where this offense is at right now, and I know we're inconsistent, but Tapia is swinging the bat well. I wanted to have somebody to be that primary contact hitter. He's become that. We're getting better play from Brendan Rodgers. Garrett Hampson's turning his play around. From this series now, we go to a 2-game set against the Oakland A's. And we win this game in extras, 3-2, behind a great start from Andrew Heaney, going 6 innings, getting 9 strikeouts. We come back to play them the next day and win 11-2. We got a terrific start from German Marquez. Jose Peraza goes yard twice. Tapia, Baez, and McMahon all get out of the yard as well. We have ourselves a win streak again, and we defend it. At home, taking on the 25-13 NL East leading Atlanta Braves. And that means we'll see Trevor Story playing in Coors Field once again. We have Jon Gray on the mound, who had some really good starts earlier in the season. His last couple haven't gone as planned. Full count to Ronald Acuna in the first inning, and this one out to left center gets out. I have no clue how to pitch to Ronald Acuna, number 14 on the season. You really can't afford to miss your spot when you're pitching at him, and that's what happened to Jon Gray here. 427 feet later, Braves have a 2-0 lead, and here is Trevor Story again playing in Denver. Wish it had worked out differently, but he's on a really good team now. They gave him the $160 million contract. 1-1 from Jon Gray, and this one is absolutely clobbered. That has to be the most impressive home run that I have allowed in this game. 432 feet into left field. And the apex of this swing, that is so high up in the air that I just haven't seen a home run hit like that from that camera angle. Trevor Story hits number 6 on the season. 3-0 Braves, making a statement early. They hand over the lead to Ian Anderson, and Raimel Tapia just keeps hitting. The average continues to climb. Tapia eventually moves to third base, and then it's Josh Fuentes left center field. This one's back, and it gets out as well. Colorado answers back with a 2-run homer. It's the 7th for Fuentes. We just can't have a full episode without him getting a home run or a couple extra base hits. After that, Garrett Hampson, bottom of the 2nd. This one's off that wall in right center. And if Hampson gets one out there, he's at third base automatically. Nobody out, trying to tie this game at 3. Here's Brendan Rodgers. First pitch, a breaking ball hit in the air to right. Hampson's fast, but you probably don't want to tag on that. Dom Nunez, 1-2. He ends up striking out on the high fastball, and it was about this moment I realized that maybe I should have bunted or something, because now it's all up to Jon Gray, and he strikes out. I'm not used to strategizing around the pitcher's spot much. 3-2, top of the 3rd, and Tapia can't quite get to this one in the corner. This is extra bases for the Braves. And that's going to bring up Ronald Acuna. Dom Nunez to start the at-bat. He's calling for the curveball that Jon Gray isn't feeling confident in. I don't want the curveball. Fastball hits the outside corner, 1-0. Now I kinda like the idea of a curveball off the plate. And instead, Jon Gray misses up, and Acuna goes the other way. 3-run homer. 2nd of the day. And that will be the last time I throw a curveball to Ronald Acuna Jr. 6-2 Braves, bottom of the 4th. Here's another drive from Garrett Hampson. This time it's to left center and down. Getting over the wall for a ground rule double. Otherwise we would have scored there. But Brendan Rodgers grounds to short, and we do answer back with a run. Jon Gray only made it through the 4 innings, and I wanted Sir Anthony Dominguez to pitch the 5th because I wanted him to face the top of this order. I wanted to see some strikeouts. He gets one from Ryan Goins. Then facing Ronald Acuna, 3-0, green light, into left center, and he's not content with the single. He wants to get the double, and a bad throw from Baez allows him to get there safely. Otherwise, he'd definitely be out. So the inning is extended for Trevor Story, and Dominguez picks up the strikeouts. Bottom 5, Ian Anderson still in the game, and Tapia into right field all the way to the wall. Another extra base hit. I feel so confident hitting with him. Baez, grounder over to short. Difficult play here for Story at the grass, and he can't throw out Baez as the Rockies do add another run. We go bottom of the 7th now. Charlie Morton out of the bullpen here for Atlanta. And Dom Nunez draws the walk, helping out that already pretty good on-base percentage. And we'll bring Charlie Blackmon off the bench. Not having the season he was hoping for. He's not an everyday player now, but he comes through in a big moment. Deep right field, Charlie Blackmon, 2-run homer. I suppose there's a chance he could become a starter again, but to have him coming off the bench, I think, is great for this team. We're going to pinch hit all the time being in the National League. AJ Minter comes into the game and walks Tapia and Hilliard back to back. Here's Javi Baez. Rockies down 1. Baez trying to take the lead on that swing. And Minter picks up a huge strikeout. Baez strikes out in frustration. And that leaves the inning up to Ryan McMahon. Bases loaded now. Hitting just 191 on the season, facing Luke Jackson. Trying to go the other way. This one's hit pretty well. Into the corner and easily caught with room to spare. Top of the 8th. Braves up 1. And here's a drive from Johan Camargo. Back goes Hampson. He somehow can't get to it. Tapia has to play the carom. And the Braves load the bases. We bring out Joe Smith to come into the game, a 1.46 ERA, doing a really good job against righties. The Braves bring out Alex Jackson to pinch hit. He falls behind 0-2. And he came in hitting under 100 with runners in scoring position. Joe Smith misses his spot, and Alex Jackson has a grand slam for his first homer of the year. And of course, prior to that swing, I brought up the fact that he was hitting .083 with runners in scoring position. Great moment during the live stream. Braves extend the lead now 11-6. Certainly feels over at this point. Here's a grounder to the right side, and it's airmailed into the Rockies dugout. Ryan Goins with a huge error. Hampson ends up with 2 free bases, and on the very next pitch, Brendan Rodgers scores him from second. Now it's a 4-run game, 5 outs left for the Rockies. Here is Tapia drawing a walk, and the bases get loaded for the Rockies. Chris Martin on the mound trying to end the inning. Sam Hilliard, deep drive, right field. This one's out of reach and hits the wall. Another run scores. Up to second is Hilliard, and the second run comes through as well. Now it's 11-9. Another comeback attempt here for the Rockies, and there are still 2 in scoring position. And the Braves bring in Will Smith, the lefty, to face Javi Baez. He had that frustrating strikeout his last time up. And this time it's a drive into left field. This one's back. Baez does it again. 3-run homer, and the Rockies have taken the lead. 13th of the season. An absolute electric moment, especially during the stream if you weren't there. Baez with a 3-run homer to cap off this comeback. The Rockies score 6 in the 8th with just 1 out. This is one of the biggest home runs of the season, and I just love the way we were able to pull this off. We had patient at-bats, we drew walks, we got runs with more than just the long ball. But when you need one, you hope that you have some hitters that can come through. It's certainly a different Rockies offense this season. We somehow get the lead, and it's a save situation for Michael Givens, but he's got to face Acuna and Story one more time. 3 for 4 on the day, 1-1 to Acuna. It's popped up into shallow right, 1 down, a huge first out. Givens gets ahead of Story, 1-2, and Story chases the fastball high, strike 3. Now just 1 out to go for Michael Givens. Starting this with a fastball outside, that gets the chase, and then the changeup gets strike 2. Michael Givens gets the save, and the Rockies win again! Their 5th victory in a row. What a game against the Atlanta Braves, 23 combined runs. We were down 6-2 at a point and pulled off the comeback, and then down, of course, 11-6, and we score the next 6. That's gotta be the best game I've played so far on the show. We've had some really good ones, especially this year. And that gets the Rockies to a 17-21 record, and Arizona's out in first place right now. What's going on in the NL West? Well, I know going forward I expect to make a roster move. I think that Ryan McMahon could use some at-bats down at AAA with him hitting 188. Just gotta get him back into his top form again, and I think Connor Joe can be the everyday first baseman in the meantime, especially as he's been hitting 300 between this year and last, and that's in 107 at-bats. I want to see how long he can keep that up. But if we send down McMahon, I'm trying to figure out who we have take up his roster spot. Elijah Diori's played really well, but we don't need 3 catchers at the moment. Jonathan Daza's an option, we just sent him down, but I'm also interested in Zack Borenstein, who was a AAA All-Star a year ago, and at age 31, he still has not made his Major League debut. What do you think? Let me know down in the comment section, but I'm very interested in calling up Borenstein and at least seeing what he can do, see if there is a future at all for him in the organization as he gets into his 30s. He's been a great power hitter at AAA in this series. He had around 25 home runs last year. I can't quite find the number, even going back to old episodes, but he was one of our best players at AAA last season. He can play all 3 spots in the outfield, and with the flexibility of Connor Joe, we don't have to call up a first baseman or any specific position. Borenstein has been solid this year. He's hitting 262, has a few home runs, and somehow that is not called strike 3. On the very next pitch, out to deep right field, and foul by less than 4 feet. The at-bat continues, and he ends up drawing a very lucky walk. Borenstein has only a 126 ISO this year, so not quite as much power as last year, at least in the first 28 games or so. He does have only 30 plate vision. Actually, at the main menu, I'm seeing it at 29, but he does have good power. 73 against righties, 72 against lefties. So he is an option to call up to at least see what he can do. Or we could bring up Daza because he's hitting for a good average down at AAA, and we could use a good contact hitter coming off the bench. As we check out the stats though, Javi Baez tied for 3rd in the National League in home runs. I wanted to see 30-40 home runs from him, and he's on pace to do just that. Starting next episode, Connor Joe becomes an everyday starter as McMahon is sent down. And we'll see what else we do with this roster and if the winning streak is able to continue. But in both months so far to start the season, we've started out terribly. 1-9 in April, 2-8 in June, and then we go on a nice run. You like to see us just play a little more consistently, and that's the hope going through the rest of this second month. But I'm excited that around 40 games in, we don't already have to start thinking about the draft and the future because we're at least playing competitive baseball. That is it for today, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and if you did, please leave a like. Those are very helpful. And subscribe to the channel, and let me know down below what you'd like to see next time with the Rockies. Have a great day.